In this textile mill, a worker struggles with drowsiness while standing close to a large warping machine. Within seconds, his lack of alertness creates a moment of risk. Never operate heavy machinery when impaired by fatigue or sleepiness. Drowsiness severely reduces focus, reaction time, and judgment, turning a routine task near moving equipment into a serious safety concern. Fatigue affects your focus just like any other form of impairment. It puts both you and your coworkers at risk. Always pay attention to signs of tiredness in yourself and in others, and take time to rest before continuing work. In this auto shop, workers stand beneath a car raised on a two-post lift. They have no idea it's balanced incorrectly and at risk of becoming unstable. A two-post lift supports thousands of pounds on 4 small arms. If these arms are not positioned exactly on the vehicle's specified lift points, the load becomes unstable. The car's center of gravity is critical. Even a slight misplacement can make it shift or slip off balance. Always check the manual for the correct lift points. Once the vehicle is just a few inches off the ground, give it a careful shake to confirm stability before raising it all the way. The space under a lift should remain off limits until the car is secured and the safety locks are engaged. On this warehouse floor, a worker bends behind a forklift, unaware that the operator is reversing nearby. Never reverse a forklift without complete confirmation that the path is clear. The area directly behind a forklift is a major blind spot. Moving in reverse without checking all surroundings or without a spotter creates a serious safety hazard. Operators must always look before moving. Pedestrians should never assume they're visible. Eye contact is essential. Awareness from both sides prevents accidents. At this repair shop, a semi-truck's cab is tilted up for service. A worker on a nearby pickup truck is crouched directly in the cab's fall shadow, unaware that the support could shift unexpectedly if not properly secured. Never work inside the fall shadow of a raised, heavy component such as a tilted truck cab. The hydraulic or mechanical prop holding it up is a single point of support. If that system shifts or loses pressure, the cab could lower suddenly, leaving no time to react. A tilted cab is a suspended load and must be treated as such. Always use the manufacturer's safety brace before starting any work. The area beneath it is a strict no-go zone. A hydraulic system can shift without warning, and safety must never depend on luck. At this construction site, a worker tosses debris from an open roof, unaware that a coworker is entering the unsecured area below. Never throw materials or debris from a height when the area below isn't fully secured. An unsecured drop zone turns every falling object into an unpredictable safety hazard that could injure someone below. A drop zone must be physically barricaded and clearly marked. If you're working above, it's your responsibility to secure the area before discarding anything. If you're on the ground, always assume something might fall and never walk through an active overhead work zone. At this renovation site, a worker high on a ladder leans too far to one side. His distracted spotter isn't paying attention, and with no one stabilizing the base, the ladder becomes unstable and begins to tilt. A ladder is a two-person system that fails when either person breaks the rules. The worker must never overreach or shift their center of gravity outside the rails. The spotter must stay alert and focused. The worker's movement creates the tipping force, and the spotter's inattention allows it to happen. A ladder is not a stable work platform. It's a tool that demands active safety. The worker must maintain balance and never overreach, while the spotter must secure the base with full focus. Safety here is a shared responsibility. At this loading bay, a worker pulls a tall, top-heavy pallet onto a truck's tail lift. His partner tries to steady it from below, standing in the exact spot where the unstable load could tip over. A tall, top-heavy load on a manual pallet, Jack has an unstable center of gravity. The jolt from moving across the small gap between the truck bed and the tail lift can easily push it past its tipping point. And once that happens, it's difficult to regain control safely. A load's stability isn't optional. It's essential. Always shrink-wrap tall loads to create a single stable unit. Never use human hands to brace unstable materials. Instead, break the load into smaller, safer sections. Proper preparation prevents dangerous instability. At this ceramics factory, a multi-tiered rack is overloaded with heavy toilets. The entire structure becomes unstable at once, triggering a complete loss of support. An industrial storage rack is an engineered structure with a strict load capacity. Exceeding that capacity, especially with heavy or brittle materials, weakens the structure and can cause a sudden loss of stability. A rack's load rating isn't a suggestion, it's a hard limit. Structural instability often happens instantly, but results from long-term overloading. Always know your rack's capacity and stay within it. The entire system is only as strong as its weakest, most stress point. At this excavation site, a worker stands in a trench, guiding a large concrete pipe into place. The pipe shifts slightly in its rigging as it's being positioned. Never position yourself under a suspended load, especially in a confined trench. A heavy, rounded pipe is inherently unstable and can easily move if improperly rigged. The narrow space below offers little room to react safely. Load stability must be verified by certified rigging. Always use taglines to guide heavy objects from a safe distance, never by hand. At this glass workshop, two workers try to lift a large glass pane by hand. The glass shifts slightly under hidden stress, causing it to become unstable. Never handle large, heavy glass manually without the correct lifting equipment. Massive sheets can shift unexpectedly from hidden stresses or small impacts, creating a risk of glass instability. Handling heavy glass requires the right tools and planning. Always use suction lifters and transport carts designed for the load. Wear cut-resistant PPE and assume every large pane could shift or flex under stress. Smart preparation ensures control when the unexpected happens. On the tugboat deck, a worker adjusts a heavy tow chain as the vessel moves slightly, causing the chain to tighten under pressure. Never position your body in the potential snapback zone or line of fire of any heavy chain or mooring line. These lines can store enormous invisible energy. A sudden change in load or vessel movement can cause the line to move unexpectedly with great force. Always treat a line as if it's under load, even if it appears slack. The snapback zone is a high-risk area that must always remain clear. Your best defense is distance. Never put yourself in a position where a sudden movement of the chain can create a safety hazard. To keep learning from these important workplace safety lessons, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Stay aware, stay safe.